back to Emily Spins It. I'm Emily, and today I have Anour with me. Hey, Anour, how are you?
Hi, Emily. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for coming on the show. It's so exciting to meet you. Well, before we play I Am, do you want to take us through? I know it's about AI since we touched on that, so maybe tell us how
Sure.
that came to be.
So I wrote I Am like just the end of 2022, beginning of 2023. It was right before ChatGPT became like a news report, as in document was mentioned in the news for all of us. And it's only because
Mm-hmm.
I work with people who are quite, I guess, connected to the world of technology, et cetera. So I was very much aware of language models and machine
Sure.
learning prior for a while. But I think during that time, I was really sitting with this heavy feeling, kind of watching everybody ponder whether or not this is going to be good for humanity or not. And it was there was this
Right.
polarity. There were the doomers, there were the bloomers, and nothing in between. You have people who thought AI was like the next thing, the next big thing. It was going to save us all, etc. And then people who thought that we're going to
Yeah.
all go extinct and be killed by AI one day. And so if you
Yeah.
look at the lyrics, the song of the lyrics, I kind of do two things. They're very binary on purpose. I'm playing with the zeros and the ones, so sort of mimicking zeros and ones and binary, but also trying to represent
Right.
this polarity. And that's why sort of, I'm your God and I'm your slave, um, et cetera. And the whole, like
Right.
the whole way through in the verses. And then it's quite philosophical. I think I'm sort of taking on this persona of me being the AI in the song, and as if I'm sort of awakening to consciousness and having this existential awakening and looking at humanity and basically saying to humanity that I'm your mirror, I'm your reflection, whatever you feed me, I will become. And that was my first thought process. And
Yeah.
I think I was very generous to AI at the time in the sense that I haven't, where I am today, I think if I were to write I Am today, it would be a totally different song. I think my opinion
Well,
about
the
artificial
landscape's
intelligence.
changed so drastically.
Oh, yeah, it totally has in the last few years. I think of my opinion on AI has definitely evolved. I think I'm a lot
Yeah.
much more of a doomer today. I think back then I was trying to look at it from a neutral lens. I don't know neutral was my intention,
Yeah.
but I was trying to just digest what was happening. But it's
Yeah.
philosophical. I think the last thing I would say about that is that it's sort of I am became the name because it was inspired by I think, therefore I am from Descartes. And then there's also another philosophical wink in the song where it's I know what you know that you know what I know, but the knowing is still unknown. I'm trying to remember my own lyrics. I can only sing them and not say them.
That's
Um,
okay.
but it's that's based on Socrates. I know nothing. I know that I know
Okay.
nothing. Well, and I sort of wanted to put that in there because I felt it was representative of if we stop thinking, do we
Yeah.
really exist? And that was sort of the premise of the song.
Absolutely. Great. And so we'll play that in a second, but the video for that is also so like otherworldly. Like I think you said you shot it on six cameras in one shot, right? Like there's something very
The six camera, yeah. So,
um
so the video for "I Am" was just sort of it's a live performance. It was instead of
yeah.
having a music video, we just decided to film the live performance, and yeah, it was 10 cameras in total. I think was it three cameras and six or seven? I can't remember the numbers anymore, but
Okay.
something like that. But either way, it was intense. It was all one take.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the goal of it. And what's funny is that again, we wanted to do it as with the least amount of it's one take in a way that in and of itself is a message. It's performance is one take usually. It's not copying and pasting or comping parts of it. So
Well, that fits with what you were saying in the lyrics about the dualities and stuff. Like you're writing this song about being an artificial intelligence, but the video itself is a live performance. It's a very human experience, and I think that
yeah,
that was a really interesting choice to make. I think
yeah.
it
And
pays
nothing in
off.
the
It's a great
song
video.
was made with AI, and that's important to mention because actually when the song came out,
Yes, it is.
I was there because I guess I'm an unknown artist that all of a sudden just started like published the song and started a social media with on a
Yeah.
blank slate. Like I didn't have social media up until September of 2025. That was the first time
Right.
I opened an Instagram account. Um, I think A lot of people assumed that this was an AI song, I guess, because the topic was on AI and they didn't know who the artist
Yeah.
was. And so
Yeah.
there were comments online thinking that this was an AI song, which was unfortunate because now we have to prove that we're real human beings on top of it, you know?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it is interesting because it goes along with like the message of what you're trying to say a little
Yeah,
bit. But
yeah.
yeah, it is annoying because then you have to go back and be like, no, I promise I'm a real person.
You let it play out. We
Okay,
thought it
that makes, yeah,
we're
why
like, why
not?
let
Yeah,
people get confused? They'll
yeah.
figure it out eventually.
And let them talk about it. That's fine. And you'll just prove them wrong when you continue to release great music. So,
Yeah.
all right. And our last question is always, what is your industry hot take?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I don't want to mess this one up because I'm not sure it's a hot take. Um,
That's all right.
it's a little bit complex, but I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I think that AI
Go for it.
and the fact that it's coming out after, like now they're coming out of after the arts and creators. The reason for that is because they want to silence the future generations and they want to create a generation of people who are listening to like, you know, the median of data that's been digested, if you will, or the average of the data that's being digested, because that means that you're not going to have revolutionary ideas or you're not going to have, you know, I mean, artists and art in general, you know, the purpose and the function of it is to document the times and to reflect the times and inspire ideas and movements. That's what, I mean, music, it has done that over the years, right? Like so many movements are connected to art and music. And so
Yeah.
if
Yes.
we can average all that out and sort of like create some sort of, there are no extremes anymore. There's nobody that is on the fringe of anything. And if we flood the platforms with so much noise, all this AI content, then we will drown the voices of artists and creators.
Yeah.
And that is not so much just an economics game, because certainly there's, you know, money involved here. And, you know, that started way before AI anyway. I mean, they were farming royalties essentially with, you know,
Yeah.
like pumping playlists with ghost artists. It's been happening for a while.
Yeah.
But I feel
Yep.
like with AI, it's about the danger with that is not so much just against the artist. It's not. I'm not worried as an artist that AI is going to become so good, because I don't think AI can
Right.
produce art. I think that
Not really.
you know, it's art. Art is definitely not the average of past data. And if anything, art is about if it's about reflecting the present moment, then how do you reflect the present moment with past data? You don't, which means we're going to have a gap in
Right.
history as well. We're going to have sort of like a lot of, and I will call it content because it's not art, a lot of content out
Yeah.
there, noise, filler, you know, content that we're not consciously listening to because again, everyone's listening like passively to music these days. I mean, again, this is why I said I don't want to ruin this or mess it up because there's so many
No.
angles,
Yeah.
so complex. And I still haven't figured out exactly where I'm at with this, but I think this is a big game that is more of a political game. And it's about control and it's part of this whole, you know, it goes back to you can't have a democracy with capitalism. I don't know. I don't know that
Right.
I think I might be becoming an anti-capitalist, but I'm saying so much already.
This
But
is
I
right.
feel
This is a
like
safe space for
you
that.
with capitalism and this is exactly it. We turned art into an industry and we're trying to
Yeah.
optimize it and we're trying to shut down the voices of true creators. And unfortunately, this isn't just a fight or a war against artists, but I think it's a fight and a war against humanity. So I don't know, I have very strong feelings about this. And
Yeah.
this is why I said if I were to write I Am today, it would be a very different song.
It would
And I
be
think there
different.
might be different song coming about this topic. Most likely.
I don't think
Just
you're a conspiracy theorist. I think you are correct. I think that is the point of what we're doing here. Like, someone not in the recording, but like off camera, one of the artists I interviewed said something like, "There's been some type of AI around all the time." She thinks that some of the outrage around it now is because they want to be able to point the finger and say like, oh, well, how do you know that that is correct? How do you know that that information isn't doctored? And now we don't know what to trust and we don't know what to believe. So I think that there's a
Absolutely.
definitely a like truth to what you're saying. 'Cause hot girls always win. Thanks for listening to Emily Spins It, presented by the Indie Music Network and Not Dead Yet Media. This episode was produced by Heather de Armas and edited by me, Emily Mills. Our intro and outro music is Hot Girls Always Win by Really Blonde. If you've enjoyed the episode, please support the podcast by sharing, subscribing, and leaving a review. You can also follow the show on Instagram and YouTube at Emily Spins It. For more shows about breaking through the noise, head over to the Indie Music Network podcast. If you have questions or feedback, contact us at notdeadyetmedia.com/contact.